In this video, we will learn how to build a Paint application using SocketIO and Canvas API. Let's get started. We will start by creating a Bun project. If you don't know about Bun is all-in-one JavaScript runtime and toolkit environment and supports TypeScript out of the box. We will first install Express and its types as dev dependencies. Now I'm going to write a basic Express.js server which will run on defined environment port or otherwise 3000. Now that we have our basic server up and running, next we will create a public folder which will serve our static files such as HTML and JavaScript. We will use static function from Express to serve public folder. Next, we will send index.html file whenever we get a request on the root path. Our next step is to install SocketIO and set it up with Express. For that, we will first install SocketIO module. Then we will import server from SocketIO module, and then we will store Express server instance returned from app.listen method from the Express application. We will use this to bind SocketIO server. We will add a basic handler to log for new connection, as well as when a socket gets disconnected. And in our index.html file, we will load SocketIO library using a script tag inside head tag because we want it to load the library before the page loads. We will use IO function provided by Socket library to connect to the server on the same host and port. Since we are not explicitly providing any host and port, it will use the same host and port from where the website is loaded. As we can see, we get logs about an eSocket connection, and when we reloads the page, we also get log about socket disconnection. Now let's start by creating a canvas element with an ID. Next, we have to find a way to draw a line on canvas whenever user clicks and moves the mouse. For that, we have to first understand some basics of Canvas API. Let's start by adding an event listener. So when the document is loaded, we will get canvas element and then we get its 2D context, since we are only dealing with two-dimensional graphics. Just a quick tip, since we are not using TypeScript in the client side, we can use comments to get typings in VS Code using the following syntax. Okay, the first function is begin path. Think of it as getting ready to draw. It doesn't draw anything yet. It's just like saying, okay, I'm going to draw now. It's the moment before your pen touches the paper. Now that you're ready, move to is your way of deciding where to start drawing. The X and Y part is like coordinates on the map, telling you where on the canvas your drawing will begin. If you want to start at the top left corner, you would use move to 0 and 0. It's like placing your pen at the exact spot on the paper where you want to start. After you have decided where to start, line 2 lets you draw a straight line from one point to another point you choose, again with X and Y coordinates. It's as if you're drawing a straight line from where your pen is to another spot without lifting your pen off the paper. Finally, stroke makes a line actually appear on the canvas. Until you use this command, it's like your drawing is invisible. Stroke is lifting your pen, finishing the line and making it visible. Next, we will make sure that our canvas takes all the space of the browser. As we can see on the screen, we have got a basic line drawn from 0, 0 until 500, 500. Now that we have basic understanding how canvas works, let's turn our attention to make this canvas respond to user interactions. Okay, let's start by setting up 3 important variables. These variables are going to help us control the drawing on our canvas. Think of them like the tool in our drawing kit. First up, we need a variable to keep track of whether we are drawing or not. It's like deciding whether your pencil is touching the paper or lifted off. We will call this variable isDrawing. When it's true, it means we are drawing. When it's false, our pencil is in the air, not drawing. Next, we need to know where our pencil starts from. So we'll create 2 more variables, last X and last Y. These will remember the last point our mouse was at when we were drawing. Now that we have our drawing kit ready, let's make our canvas listen to our mouse movements. We do this by adding event listeners. Think of these listeners like ears on our canvas. They listen to what we want to do. Start drawing, keep drawing, or stop drawing. First, we tell our canvas to listen for when we press the mouse button down. This means we are ready to start drawing. Here's how we do it. We say, hey canvas, when I press my mouse button down, remember that spot. That's where my drawing starts. Next, we need to draw when the user is moving the mouse, but only draw if we have told the canvas we are ready by pressing down the mouse. This is like saying, as long as my pencil is down, keep drawing lines from where I last left off. to wherever I move my mouse. Finally, we need a way to tell our canvas, hey, I'm done drawing for now. We do this by lifting our mouse button when we catch a mouse up event or by moving our mouse off the canvas. Both of these are our canvas way of knowing that the pencil is off the paper. It should stop drawing. And that's how we make our canvas come alive and respond to our mouse, letting us draw whatever we like. We start by calling IO function, then we store all the required data in order to draw on canvas. We also attach socket ID and the data to identify who is sending the events. Then we emit the draw event before updating the last position. And in the backend, we are logging the events. As we can see, we get logs about the data we are receiving in the backend. Now we need to emit all this data to all the connected clients except the sender. Here are some useful functions related to emitting data. We will use socket.broadcast.emit to emit to all the connected clients except the sender. So in the backend, we will emit the draw event. Then we will add a listener in the client side. When we get draw event, we will use the same method as we did with the mouse events. It's similar to mouse movement except we don't have mouse here. The data is coming from the backend. And there we go, we have our Paint application ready with multiplayer support. And in the next part, we will try to add more functionality like colors, stroke width, and rooms. I hope you like the video. If you have any question, you can comment down. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.